Reliable Image gets the job done in the second here at Kalgoorlie. Peter Fernie, Lucy Fiore on track for a very good day, as we've mentioned multiple times. They've taken out the first two races and easily could take out the first three here, Maddie.
Very easily could. Has got another favourite here in Treasured Queen. Has put two really nice runs on the board for 2 seconds so far. Lucy's going to hope to try and get that into the number one position today. But I tell you, Lucy has got such a good book of rides here today. I think some of the early tab touch market specials you could have got would be to Lucy to ride 4 or more winners, was paying $8.50. And after the first two races, I think that bet would have been looking very, very good right about now. Could
have been a good bet indeed, and hopefully can get very much closer to that after the running of race number 3, the Blue SPEC drilling clay handicap over the 1100 metres here. Runners are entering the yard, so we'll begin our preview. We're going to be very busy today, Maddie, doing plenty of previewing of horses. The one is Mungo Jerry, Ricky Brown, Chanel Cooper.
Hopefully we can improve off our first few efforts anyway, but Mungo Jerry, we've got a small but select field here in the open class horses. Mungo Jerry comes into this 2 weeks between runs after we saw him run in a key form reference that I'll be mentioning a fair bit here in this preview. It was the 70 plus 1100 metres, where I really did think he had every chance under the urgings of Chanel Cooper that day. Gave him an absolute lovely run sitting 1-1. Today she's trying to utilise another good gate. I do map her to be parked on our favourite here in Treasured Queen and is on contention, but I probably would need to have seen just a little bit more last start to see her be able to reverse that 2-length margin that she went down by.
Has been supported in the market after opening $11, now into $8.50. The 2 is the first of the Peter Fernie gallopers in the third event here. Zing to win. Pete Fernie, Tash Faithful.
I'd be very surprised if Peter Fernie doesn't take out this race, put it that way, Tess. Zing to wing here. He was okay 2 starts back when following the very zippy Sure Thing, absolutely everywhere in running, but was just ultimately no match for that galloper that day, who's since gone on in town. Before last start, he was there for a fair bit of market support with him. He was a tad slow out of the gates, which forced him to settle at the back of the field from barrier 6, and he was able to beat home Mungo Jerry that day. I'm really unsure as to where Tash lands here today, though. She does find herself in a similar position, and if that is the case, can she reverse the margin on our favourite in Treasured Queen when we think there could be a bit of an on-pace bias? I'm thinking probably not.
The 3 is Rupert's Empire, third start this preparation, now with Helen Harding, formerly with Mac Hall. I'd assume has just been left out here for another run. Zephyr Johnson Porter rides.
It took a while to get into his rhythm, Rupert's Empire, last start out of the gates, and it saw him last in that very small 70-plus field by 2 lengths. He recovered well enough to be able to finish off a closing 6th. He was only second up that day as well, so I think there's going to be a little bit more improvement in him, although he will need to improve his barrier manners here today. He won't be able to get away with that in this similar lineup here. He really will need the pace to go on, though, so he can swoop around them late.
The 4 is Laquetta's Gift, first up, should I say, after 184 days, Steph Brackenich and Troy Turner.
Yes, comes here first up for the Steph Brackenich stable after trialling up at Belmont 3 weeks ago. I thought it was okay. We was able to run 5th in behind Marty Gell, who's a city class galloper, and this is one who, and Laquetta's Gift has been known to put in a good run fresh, and I do think this is a really suitable assignment. She went around in some very strong 66 plus metro races at Ascot. She even went around in the mares race in the Jungle Dawn, and the beat margins in those showed her to be really competitive. My only knock here is at the 1100 metres. It just might be a tad too short for her. I think she does her best work over the 12 and 1400. But if they are looking at a similar prep to last season, where we saw her race in the Gold Rush and even the Kalgoorlie Sprint down here in Kalgoorlie, then I think this is a really good starting point.
Maddie, just a bit of a fun fact. Looking at these runners in the yard, there's 4 runners with stars in their colours. So plenty of stars out there. Hopefully one lot of the stars gets across first. The next one of those is the 5, Bullbeck. Pete Fernie and Braden Garth.
I can't wait for the next fun fact, Tess. Absolutely. I wouldn't have noticed that. Belbeck, where are we? He's had 4 starts back and all in this grade down here in Kalgoorlie. He was able to get on the board 3 starts back. He sat on the back of Treasured Queen. He was able to pull away by a length to score that day. He was able to track the same horse again last start as well. He got to within a nose of her, making ground up on her inside. There's clearly not much between these 2 gallopers, but today I mapped Belbeck probably sitting on the outside of Treasured Queen in in the 1-2 position. And just because of that, just because he's going to have to work that little bit harder than Treasured Queen, that's the way I'm leaning.
Potentially could be a new segment. Tessa's Trivia, we could start. The 6 Oracle Sun is a scratching, so we move on to the 7 and our favourite, Treasured Queen, Pete Fernie, Lucy Fiore.
I'd be up to play the trivia, that's for certain. 2 starts for Treasured Queen back this campaign and back-to-back seconds, as I've mentioned. He's only been able to be run down last up by Play That Funky Music, who I will say, though, was able to sit 3 wide throughout and still hit the line strongly. Treasured Queen was to his inside that day in the breeze and had her chance to win, I felt. But today, look, she's 3rd up. She should be peaking in fitness. It maps for her to lead, and she's going to have every favour. The pads do go on, which is a slight concern of mine, but I did hear Peter Fernie on radio this morning say it's absolutely no issue and she's all A-OK. So I'm trusting in the Lucy Fiore combination here that has so far put the first 2 winners on the board, and Treasured Queen is the way I will be going.
Just the 6 runners go around here in the 3rd event now after the scratching of Oracle Sun this morning. Looking at the market, Treasured Queen is the favourite, opened at $2.20 and remains strong at that $2.20 quote. Zing to Win, the next best, a stablemate, $4 into $3.80. Bullbeck, the other stablemate, quite easily could be another Pete Fernie trifecta here, as he suggested as well in our post-race interview moments ago. $4 out to $4.60. Mungo Jerry, the next best, and has been quite well supported outside of the Fernie yard. Ricky Brown Trains, $11 into $9.50. Laquetta's Gift, first up today, has also been quite well supported from $15 into $8. Rupert's Empire, $26, and after deductions applying from Oracle Sun was 15 cents to the dollar. So just make note of that. That is, all those figures are post the deductions from Oracle Sun. Just heard a bit of thunder, I think, then, Maddie. I wasn't too sure what that was, but how do we see things playing out here in the 3rd?
No, I wasn't too sure what that was either. I was hoping one of the locals might be able to point me in the right direction. But in this race, I've gone 7, 5, 2 and 4. It was a little bit of a shame that Oracle Sun was scratched out of this, because I thought he would go quite well here. But I put 7 on top in Treasured Queen. I think she gets her best chance yet. She should come out. She should find the rail, and I think she's going to be hard to run down. 5 in Bellback, I've got in for 2nd. Finished, if I like our favourite in Treasured Queen, I have to like Bellback. Finished a nose behind at last start, has to be in my numbers. 2 in Zing to Win. It's going to be a pretty small tactical race in the field here, and it might just settle a length too far off our top 2 in running, and because of that I've put it down the order in 2 for 3rd. And 4, Laquetta's Gift in for 4th. I think she can run a race fresh here today, but I've got a feeling that they might be looking at some races a little bit further on in the season down here in Kalgoorlie for her. 7, 5, 2 and 4 to make it a Peter Fernie and Lucy Fiore treble.
And another trifecta potentially for Pete Fernie as well. He trained the trifecta in the first with 3 runners going around. He's got 3 runners going around again here. Maddie's numbers 7, 5, 2 and 4. 7 on top has been very well supported. He continues to be our favourite at $2.20. Treasured Queen, hoping for a race-to-race treble for Lucy Fiore and Pete Fernie. We'll hand you upstairs now as runners are about to begin the loading process. So we'll hand you up to Royce to call us home.
Daily. Not normally that loud though. Must be like... Thanks, Tess. Thanks, Matt. Runners behind the line here for the running of race number 3, the Blue Spec Drilling CHILE Handicap. And we're going over the short course, 1,100 metres. Your favourite, Treasured Queen, $2.25 on fixed odds. Zing to Win at $3.80. Baalbeck, $4.80. $8 Laquetta's Gift. 11 Mungo Jerry, and the outsider Rupert's Empire at $34. So runners starting to come forward. Mungo Jerry, one of the first to load. Here comes Treasured Queen. Lucy's looking for the first 3 on the card. Likewise, Peter Fernie. He's actually a danger of training the card today, Peter. He's got some nice horses engaged. Here comes Baalbeck into line. I thought he was well placed in this. Baalbeck, he's racing really well. Laquetta's Gift to join the line. So Laquetta's Gift goes forward, so just 2 to come forward. Here's Zing to Win. Superb record at the track, Zing to win. He's had 10 goes for 5 wins and 3 seconds. So Zing to win goes forward. Just one more to load. Rupert's Empire, and we'll be set. This is the Blue Spec Drilling CHILE Handicap. And Rupert's Empire to complete the line. Your favourite Treasured Queen will jump at 2:30. Thanks, Stu. Tab Radio on board. So Rupert's Empire being trotted up towards the line. We're going over the short course with the open class gallopers. Stand by, red light on. We're set. Gates fly back, they're off, racing now. Rupert's Empire just going back towards the tail. With early speed, it was Treasured Queen trying to cross early. Mungo Jerry kicking up and Baalbeck in the first 3 as well. They open up a length and a half then to Laquetta's Gift down on the inside. To the outside, we've got Zing to win. And at the tail, it's Rupert's Empire. 750 metres to run as they go onto the side of the course. And Treasured Queen gets to the front for Fiore and shows the way by a length and a half. Baalbeck running second. Third, the inside, Mungo Jerry being followed next of all by Zing to win fourth. The inside to Laquetta's Gift and Rupert's Empire at the tail, but we've only got 5 lengths covering the field of 6 with 400 metres to run. It's Treasured Queen showing the way by a length, about to quicken from Baalbeck second the outside. Mungo Jerry needs a split the fence. They were followed by Zing to win, who starts to extend further back to Laquetta's Gift, and at the tail it's Rupert's Empire. It's Treasured Queen asked for now. Baalbeck the outside, Mungo Jerry looking for a split down the outside. Zing to win, Treasured Queen in front with 100 to run. Baalbeck trying, but Treasured Queen in front. Baalbeck coming, but it's too late, and Treasured Queen wins 3/4 of a length. Finally breaks through. Second across the line, Baalbeck. Scottish led third. They were followed in by Zing to win, Laquetta's Gift, and a distant last was Rupert's Empire. Well, Treasured Queen finally justifies favouritism. She's finished second at her past 2. She's been sent out $2.30, $2.90, and today at $2.30 she gets the job done. The bottom weight, Treasured Queen with the 54.5 kilos. And it's Lucy, Lucy, Lucy. A treble to Lucy in the first 3 races, and it's Fernie, Fernie, Fernie as well. So a pattern emerging here today, but it was an armchair ride there for Lucy. Going straight to the lead, finding the paint, and never to be headed in the run to the line. Treasured Queen by Vancouver from New Image, owned by Andrew Ingles. Pete Fernie, the winning trainer. Lucy Fiore in the saddle, a treble to both. And Treasured Queen brings up win 5 at start 20. Second across the line, the 5, that's Baalbeck for Pete Fernie and Braden Garth. By My Admiration from a bit cryptic, owned by Karen Fernie. Third in was the 1, Mungo Jerry for Ricky Brown and Chanel Cooper. By Saboog from Stars Are Out, owned by Trent Brown and Anush Boodoo. And fourth in was the 2, Zing to Win for Peter Fernie and Tash Faithful. 7-5, 1-2, a half a length by a short neck. The margins, and a nice win there by Treasured Queen. Race 4 is next, the first leg of the main quaddie. It's the Blue Spec Diamond Drilling Handicap over the 1100 metres, 2:30 the start time. Your early favourite is He's Angelic at $3. But in the meantime, 7-5, 1-2 as we go down to Tess in the yard after the win of Treasured Queen.
Thanks, Royce. It's a bit of a familiar pattern here, Pete. We're going to be chatting a little bit throughout the day, no doubt. We might have to look for some other questions for you. But Treasured Queen, a really nice win there. You must be wrapped with the team.
Yeah, I was really happy for her today because she got kind of a bit of an injury when she was when she spelled, and she's been a bit of a work in progress since. She just ran into a pole and dropped her hip. So Annabelle Coucher, she done a great job, put her over some jumps for me, and that seems to have helped her. She's come a long way since that.
Ballback found the line really nicely as well. Do you think a little bit further could have possibly got there?
No, he's honest. He just runs his normal race. He's a nice horse. He was hitting the line not good late, so hopefully he can get a 12. We'll put him in one shortly.
Congratulations here. Nearly got a trifecta, but one less of that. I know you'll have a fantastic day throughout the day. Hopefully chat to you again soon.
Thank you.
There's Pete Fernie. Like I said, we might have to Google some fun fact questions for Pete and Lucy here, Maddie, because it could be quite a common trend throughout today. But it was a really nice ride yet again from Lucy. Always holds things very cool, calm and collected. And when she can do a sit and steer job, no one else looks better doing it.
No, she did a really good job there. She just rated it out in front perfectly. That was always the way the race was going to shape out, and she got the right sectionals, and from there she's just too hard to get past. I think third up here today, just peaking on her fitness sweetness there, and it was a really nice steer there by Lucy as well. That brings up 3 on the card from the first 3 rides here for Lucy and Peter. It is a bit of a performance here that we're seeing, and they're teaming up in the next as well on Wanna Cracker, and they could make it 4 from 4. Lucy, congratulations again, 3 from 3. It's not a bad start to the day.
Pete's got a good team in today, like I said earlier, but she's been knocking on the door for her last 2 starts, so I was pretty happy for her to get a win.
Like you said, she had been knocking on the door. That was 2 seconds before coming out here today. Did you just get a cheap section or 2 out in front just so she had that little bit of a kick up in the straight here today?
Yeah, there definitely wasn't as much speed as there has been, and she didn't get any pressure mid-race, whereas last time she got a little bit of pressure when she was outside the leader and made her just over-race a little bit. So yeah, she did get it quite easy, but she also performed really well.
She certainly did. Can we make it a Wanna Cracker now? You haven't sat on it this campaign, but it seemed to put in a nice run under Jefferson last start.
Yeah, like I said, I actually don't know much about it, but Pete's horses are going good, and I'm happy to be here, so we'll see how we go.
Can't do much more than that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There's Lucy Fiore combining with Peter Fernie and Treasured Queen, taking out the Blue Spec Drilling CHILE Handicap over the 1100 metres. Ballback in for second, Mungo Jerry for third, and Zing to win in for fourth. It's a Peter Fernie dominant display to start the day here at the KBRC. We'll take a short break now, and don't go too far away because we'll be heading straight up to Broome for race number 2.